At Lowe's, we believe that updating your home doesn't have to take a ton of time or money.
It looks so good.
Give us one weekend, we'll give you 5 projects, and you'll have a completely transformed space by Monday.
Stop it right now.
This is The Weekender. This weekend, I'm helping out a family with an unused space in their home that was formerly known as the formal living room or the parlor, which I guess back in the day was utilized, but nowadays, not so much. Now, they want this to be a space where they can spend time with their young kids, and this weekend, we're gonna make that happen. You guys, I describe a lot of rooms as a blank slate, but this is legitimately an empty room.
Yep.
So tell me, how would you love to be able to use it?
So I think we're looking for a spot that does not have a TV or a screen as a distraction. We want some place where we can hang out as a family, have friends over, and play games, listen to music, and not have the TV like we have in the other living room.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Allie. We have 2 kids, Isla, who's 5, and Caleb, who is 3.
We own a small restaurant, so it's a little bit difficult for us to coordinate our schedules and our lives. It's pretty busy. So we thought, what a great idea for this room to have it be something that can be without a screen, where we could just listen to music, read, hang out with each other, play games. It'd be great to have it something that we can entertain our adult friends with as well.
You guys are so busy running a restaurant together, 2 kids, 5 and under, and it explains why we have an empty room here.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
But it also helps me understand too why it's so important for you guys when you are together as a family to have screen-free time that can be really intentional.
It means a lot to be able to just zero in on the kids and disconnect from everything else.
Exactly.
Tell me what you guys would like to see style-wise. I know that a lot of what you sent had like opposite of these walls. They were like deep and rich.
Yeah, I think we like dramatic, but also functional.
I know you had also said like cozy. You really love cozy?
Yes, we're super into cozy. We try to make our house, as cozy as possible, especially with little kids.
This room is almost like builder grade plus. Builder grade, but a little fancier. So you have like really nice crown molding. We have the chair rail. We have thicker molding than normal. We have really nice hardwood floor. And I love that because we already have a little bit of fancy to work with in here.
Awesome.
All right, we're excited.
Are you guys, I didn't ask, DIY skill level? What am I working with this weekend?
Horrendous.
Yeah.
As bad as it gets.
But you know what?
But we'll try really hard.
That's literally all I need is like a will to learn and try.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get started on our first project. Let's get the few items that are in here out, and then we'll jump in.
All right.
Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Very.
Me too, I am.
Cool.
I want this space to look incredible, but I also want to do it on a budget. I have so many great products coming from Lowe's and also a bunch of creative ideas to get the look at a fraction of the cost. You know the drill. 1 weekend, 5 main projects. Here's what I've planned. Adding custom molding on the walls, creating some amazing built-in bookshelves, painting all the things, building a super fun family gaming table, and filling the room with great furniture and accessories from Lowe's. I'm super excited about this first project because it's going to do what we were talking about, which is like building off of the builder grade fancy that you guys already have going on. So what I want to do is basically encase the whole room in additional molding that's going to be like super dramatic.
Ooh, I love it.
You like that idea?
Yeah.
So what I have here, this is our molding, and it's basically 1x material, and it's pre-primed for us. So all we're gonna have to do is cut the lengths that we need. What I like to do when I'm doing like a decorative molding project is to tape out my pattern or whatever I'm doing. So what I'm thinking are really big rectangles. So basically like a 4 foot by 3 foot. Okay, that will be our first box. Now, within that, we're gonna do another box.
Actually, it's super helpful to see.
It is, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then in the center, we'll just put a piece like that. Okay, it's not perfectly straight, a little crooked, but what do you think?
I love it. I love it. I think it's gonna be great.
So we'll repeat this like probably 4 or 5 times on this wall, and then paint it all to match one color, so it'll just add like a depth and drama.
Perfect. And then what about this area? Are we leaving this open?
So I was thinking down here that we will just do vertical slats just to give it a little bit more visual interest. You're gonna see, it's gonna be so simple to cut and to install. Like nothing in this is crazy complicated.
Perfect.
I promise.
I like simple.
I'm excited because this is your first power tool of the weekend of life.
Of life, yes, I think of life.
I love that. I'm honored to be a part of this with you. So, okay, this is a miter saw. And even though we're doing really simple straight cuts, we could get fancy and cut things at an angle if we wanted to miter. But for our purposes, we're just gonna stick with the basics and do some nice straight cuts for most of our wood.
Okay.
Okay, to do this, we're gonna do a couple measurements. We want our mark to be kind of in the center of this opening here. There's a safety button here on the side.
Okay.
And then there's a trigger, like a handle that you pull. So I go in with that. That
Okay.
engages the blade.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right. Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. That was a perfect first cut. I mean,
you.
like very perfect.
This is so fun.
It is fun, isn't it?
Yes. Kind of like this.
Great job. We have our wood pieces, and since not every piece of molding will be going into studs, we're doing a combination of contractor adhesive and nails to attach to the wall. When you are attaching molding onto the wall, you're gonna have a little bit of gapping, but a little bead of caulk along that will take care of it, and where any of the wood pieces meet. And for all the nail holes, a little wood putty will do the trick. Now, for these bottom ones, we cut the top of our wood at an angle so that it kind of tucks nicely underneath the existing molding. That's a great idea, and it's a way to kind of make it look intentional. If I were to keep this straight, it looks accidental. By just simply cutting the wood at a slight angle at the top and the bottom, it looks very intentional and it blends into what we already have going on. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Easier than you thought?
Very much so.
You touched multiple power tools, glue, leveling. I mean, we are adding to your DIY skills as we go.
Yes, we are. Super easy.
And we're just getting started.
Wow, look at this.
What do you think?
I think it's great.
Allie did so much of this. I mean,
Wow, I'm impressed.
so we handled that side. You're gonna help me with this side. And when I think of like a cozy room, screen-free, the first thing I think of are like really nice built-in bookshelves. So I picked these basic shelves up at Lowe's. What I would like to do is use these as our starting point, but create an entire wall of built-ins here. Creating custom built-ins off of existing shelves is gonna make our lives so much easier and way more weekender friendly.
Right.
I have a sketch to kind of show you what I was thinking. And basically 3 bookshelves here, and then kind of the arches over top, and they'll go right into the ceiling.
So creative. I would have never thought to do that.
Now that I know how I want this laid out, we're using a combination of 2x4s and 1x8s to build out an extra frame. And then our plywood is what we use to face it. Okay, so I have all of our measurements. I find it super helpful to make a cut list. This cut list basically tells us the material, the length, and how many we need. You ready to give it a whirl? Like a pro.
Sweet.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
good. Felt good. I'm glad because we have a lot of cuts.
All right, great.
One down. So we'll put this on top of the sawhorses. The plywood is going to be basically the face and our arches. So in between the areas, we'll case out with the plywood.
Okay, great. Yep, makes sense.
First thing we'll do is trace out our arches. We're gonna use a little trick that I like. Basically, we're going to attach this in here and drop our pencil. So that way, it works as like a little smooth hinge. And to determine where to put my pencil, the bookshelves are 34 inches wide, so half of that is 17. That gives us a total of 34. And get our perfect arch.
Wow.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that was really great.
To cut the arch shape, we're gonna use a jigsaw. stand this up. You see it?
Yep, looks pretty epic.
I'm gonna clamp this together. So this 2x4 is acting as a ledger, and it's what we're going to use to attach our side pieces and our front arches to. You wanna make sure that you are going into studs, whether it's studs in a soffit like we have, or you're going directly into your ceiling. We are just about done.
Pretty awesome.
So see how when we cut with the jigsaw, there's a little bit of inconsistency? What we'll do is come through with the sander and smooth out any edges. And for this, like any areas where the wood comes together, we're gonna caulk them, fill it in, and then any of the edge areas, we're gonna add extra kind of final molding trim that will take care of all of that.
I think it looks amazing.
We have made a ton of progress today.
I literally cannot believe this has been done in one day.
It really just is starting to feel like it has some life and energy to
And
it.
character, for sure.
Absolutely. So now we're gonna start introducing paint. I'm gonna show you the color first, and then I'll tell you what we're painting. How's that sound?
It's good.
This is our main paint color.
Oh, wow.
It's
I
awesome.
like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
You
very
like?
nice.
So this awesome deep rich teal color is gonna be all the walls,
Okay.
all the new molding, so lower and upper, crown molding, and the ceiling.
Wow.
Okay?
Whoa.
So very dramatic.
Okay.
So when you do this, it's oftentimes called color drenching. We're basically drenching the entire room in one color.
all right.
Okay? Only area we're not gonna be painting in teal are our bookshelves. Okay, that's gonna be a different color, and I'm not gonna show you that color. Okay. Color drenching can add a lot of sophistication and drama to a space. Allie and Tim really wanted this room to feel different from the rest of their home, and they wanted it to have drama and coziness. Color drenching will check off both of those boxes. Take a minute and look at our handiwork.
It looks great. It's gonna look so
Pretty
good.
awesome.
I mean, even with just a little bit from the ceiling, on the walls, are you seeing
You
it?
can start to
Yeah.
see it. You can start to see it now.
All right, we got this. It's the morning of day 2, and we got started bright and early by getting a coat of paint on these bookshelves. Even though we're color drenching most of the room, I chose a really rich green for the bookshelves. That's gonna be a nice surprise for Tim and Allie. Matt also got started building the base for our next project, which is a family game table. Good morning.
Hello.
This is gonna be your new coffee table.
Ah, I love it.
But it's not just any coffee table. See this hinge here?
Yes.
This is to make it into game storage.
Ah, very nice. That's
Like
perfect.
that. So
yes.
you can put a ton of card games, board games, puzzles, all kind of things in there for storage.
Perfect.
I love the look of kind of like card catalog with lots of drawers. And I even considered adding drawers to this, but the furniture would have had to be all moved away. It was a whole thing. So instead, we're gonna get the look of drawers, but kind of cheat it. So
Okay.
we're gonna take wood here, put it on the front, and then add a piece of hardware to it, and instantly you have drawers.
Very nice. I like the hardware.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna wood glue, and then we'll use the nail gun to attach on, and then all we have to do is pop our hardware on. Really easy, right?
Yes.
And already starting to just add a depth so it looks like there could be drawers there. What's gonna make the huge difference are the handles. We'll have to pre-drill holes and then screw the hardware in.
Okay.
A little trick to line up our holes. I like to take a little piece of painter's tape, put it on the back of the hardware, and just use something sharp like a screw and poke. All right, and then those 2 holes are where I need to pre-drill. Come take a look. What do you think?
Wow, yeah. Big difference. Very nice.
The hardware really makes it, right?
It does, yep. for
And you
sure.
would never know that it's not like
Definitely
Drawers.
not. Nope, I love it.
So what my plan is now to finish this is actually we're gonna stain the whole thing.
Okay, I love it.
Good. All right, well, stay out of the room.
Okay.
Matt and I will finish it up from here.
Okay.
I'm so excited to pull this all together and reveal it to you and Tim.
Sounds great.
It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you.
All right, you did a great job on this.
Thanks.
I told Allie we're finishing the whole coffee table off with stain, but what I didn't tell her is I have plans to paint a custom chessboard checkerboard right onto the table. It's gonna look so great. When I got here, this room was completely empty with no furniture in it. So before this weekend, I hopped on Lowe's.com to choose all the furniture and larger scale accessories that I was bringing into the space. If you're shopping for furniture or accessories on Lowe's.com, I love that you can shop their inspiration rooms. They're so nice. Or shop by style. Farmhouse, traditional, modern. It's almost like having your own personal designer guiding you. So many people think of Lowe's for raw materials, paint, building supplies, things like that. But guys, they have so many furniture options online. The first main piece that I chose was this kind of smaller scale sectional. I liked it because it doesn't take up too much space in the room, but it still has the coziness of a sofa. The mid-century modern yellow, a little bit of the tufting, the legs. It looks like a super expensive sofa, and it was not. I also went with the leather pub chairs. I really love that that kind of gives this like a cozy den feeling, but they're still incredibly comfortable. I got some accent tables, and then one thing that I'm so excited to surprise them with is a shuffleboard table. I was on Lowe's.com getting a bunch of new games for their family to add in. I saw it and couldn't resist. It's such a fun, screen-free activity that their whole family can enjoy while their kids are little and as they grow up as well. This room is so fun. I cannot wait for them to see it. If you don't feel like you're in your own home, I promise you are, okay? This space is unrecognizable. And on the count of 3, you can open your eyes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just speechless,
It's
literally.
Beautiful. Look at
This is,
shuffleboard. Is that shuffleboard?
It's shuffleboard!
Oh
Yeah.
my God, how cool.
I don't even know where to look first. It's like,
Beautiful.
this is sick.
It's beautiful. I love it.
That's
So much
built in.
fun.
That's awesome. That's
Isn't it?
crazy that was 3 like out of the box bookshelves.
It's
That's
amazing.
wild. Whoever cut those arches.
Whoever cut those arches was not a beginning DIYer, right?
Yeah.
Advanced now.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then we did want to paint the bookshelves just to have a little bit of a pop. We worked so hard on them, we wanted them
Yeah.
to stand out. So a little bit of the green, and how fun are the little lamps at the
lamps.
top?
Those are great. I was
Those are
just looking at
amazing.
those.
Lowe's
Yes.
has a huge selection of lamps that are
Touch.
battery operated and touch.
they're
battery
battery.
operated.
Yeah, so you just
Wow.
charge them. It's visually beautiful, but it's also functional.
That table.
I know.
That is
I
so
know.
cool.
So I told
It's
you we were
amazing.
gonna stain it,
Yeah.
but I also had a little surprise.
How
We actually
fun.
painted and stained on a board so you can play checkers,
That's so
chess.
cool. That's
That
so
is
cool.
perfect.
I mean, think about what the room looked like yesterday morning.
It was a useless room without a purpose. It makes us realize what a waste of space it truly was. When you realize this is what could be done with something like
That's all
that,
from
it's amazing.
Lowe's, too.
I know,
Like
right?
this-
A lot of people think of Lowe's for paint, for
Hardware.
supplies, hardware, building. Every piece of furniture, every accessory in here from Lowe's.
That's amazing.
So I shopped on Lowe's.com ahead of time, picked the sectional, the really cool pub chairs. Aren't those great?
chairs
I
are
love
amazing.
those.
I think that it feels both sophisticated because of the darker, moody colors, really cool furniture, but then also this rug that I found at Lowe's feels very playful to me too.
Yes.
So it's like this combination of playful and also sophisticated.
And there's still nice light, even though everything's so cozy. Yeah, it's great.
You had a lot of goals in the space. You wanted to be able to hang out, like playing board games, doing puzzles, listening to music, also entertaining. Do we think this is gonna work for all those?
You
Yes,
nailed it.
it's amazing.
My mind is blown. This is incredible.
I had so much fun working on this with you guys.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
And please thank Lowe's. This is really amazing. And this is gonna change the way we live in our house.
Oh, that is
great.
totally the goal. I'm
Yes.
so happy to hear that. That was such a fun weekend and a wildly crazy transformation. I would love to know what you think of it. Leave me a comment, let me know what your favorite part is. We'll link all the products that we use throughout this space in the description below. And before you go, you know the drill. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss a single thing on the Lowe's YouTube channel. Thanks, friends.